Hi everyone! This is a highly requested video, but I wanted to make sure it was well planned out and well thought through before I made it. So thank you for all the requests and thank you so much for your patience. Minimalism has helped with my anxiety in many ways, and one of the most important things it has done for me is self-acceptance. Most of you know that minimalism for me is more than just a decorating or interior design trend. It is a whole lifestyle and a mindset change. Before going minimalism in my early 20s, I used to spend so much time buying clothes. I used to buy clothes once a week. Yes, when I think back to it now, it's extremely ridiculous, especially since I had very little money and I had even less once I'd bought all these clothing. But every week I would go to the store with my friends to try to find something to wear for that event, that party, that dinner, whatever it was. I was extremely busy, and for some reason I needed a new top or dress or skirt every single time. No matter how many things I bought, I would not feel satisfied, and it all boiled down to my self-worth. Because I couldn't find anything that would make me good enough, and if I found something that I thought would make me feel good enough, I would change my mind a week later. But the truth is, it was never about what I looked like, it was about how I felt. Owning less has over time really forced me to deal with my negative feelings about myself. Things I didn't even know that I was thinking, negative thoughts, self-hate. But once I stopped buying or stopped relying on buying new things, there was suddenly the space to realize that, I was hating on myself quite a lot. And of course this helps with my anxiety, because now I can identify that it's not about the things not fitting or me not being able to purchase something, because I no longer purchase things, so I have to deal with the anxiety from not feeling good enough. And this is of course a lifelong practice. Just recently when building my van, I ruined my favorite jacket. I got car paint on it, I broke it, and I was so embarrassed and I felt so ugly. So I decided to just stop sulking about it and fix it. So I got some pretty harsh chemicals from a friend who helped me paint the car, and I removed the car off my jacket as best I could. Then I also sewed it together as best as I could, and now the jacket is sort of fine again. It's obviously not new. You can tell that it's mended and you can tell that it is worn. But it's my jacket and I'm gonna proudly wear it and know that it's not about my jacket. The second thing that really helped is the aspect of simple living. One of the most dramatic changes minimalism has brought to my life is the idea of simplifying it. I own less things, so I need less things to worry about. I have less things in storage. I need less storage. I need less space. Owning less things has really simplified my life in many more ways than I could ever imagine. This in turn has made me feel much more grounded in my sense of self, and I no longer succumb to pressure the same way that I used to. And a huge part of anxiety is worrying and thinking negative thoughts. But now, as a minimalist, I have way less things to worry about, and I even have way less things to think negative thoughts about. So it has really helped my anxiety in ways that I couldn't even possibly imagine when I first started out on this journey with just bags and bags and bags of stuff. Number 3 is that it's less messy. I think many people who feel overwhelmed or overstimulated in our world are drawn to minimalism because of its calm demeanor and sort of a break from that overstimulated, capitalistic, loud society. There is so much noise in the world outside of us, and unfortunately, many times we bring it home with us. I lived in Japan for 14 months, and when I lived there, going out was definitely scary. There was music playing in every single store I walked past. There were more people than I had seen in my entire life. I mean, I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere in south of Sweden. Now I was in Tokyo and it was the first time I had seen skyscrapers, and there were so many people around me, I didn't really know what to think or feel. The way I tried to deal with this was obviously to participate. So I went and bought some of those things and I brought it all with me into my home. But in the end, this didn't serve me, and all this overstimulation that I also then ultimately brought into my home, I realized when I was leaving that I had way too much stuff. If I feel overwhelmed after a day out in the world, all I have to do these days is to come home, take a breath, and feel calm in this space that's completely serene and empty. Number 4 is space. Minimalism for me, of course, means freeing up my physical space, but it also means so much more than that. Both in the time I've gotten back of just being, of just sitting in presence, but also from all the time I have now from not going to malls, not shopping, not cleaning, and not dealing with my stuff. And this space that I talk about is so important because for me, this is the space where there is room to heal. In those moments, I have time for journaling, I have time for contemplation, meditation, or for simply just sitting. And that's helped my anxiety so much. So minimalism has created this space for me that I think is so important for healing and that I think was really missing from my life before I came to minimalism. It was a space that I remember from childhood, but that was completely lost through the hustle and bustle of the world and through the work and through the social media and the technology. This space is so important for me, and I think this is one of the most important parts of minimalism. The fifth way minimalism has helped and definitely is helping with my anxiety is decluttering. After many years of decluttering, but also now mainly years of not purchasing items, I no longer declutter. However, what I do instead is organize and clean my stuff. And for me, this has become almost a spiritual space for me to heal my anxiety. If I can feel a panic attack or anxiety starting and I have the space to catch it early, one of my favorite things to do is to clear out my closet. Now, I don't throw anything away. I simply empty my side of the closet and then I clean it out with a natural solution and then I fold everything and put it back in the way I want to. Before being a minimalist, I used to do this as well. But the act itself would be overwhelming and it would take me like 2 or 3 days to get through everything in my closet. Now it takes me pretty much 10 to 15 minutes and it makes me feel a lot better. It's as if this process of organizing and cleaning and putting things back where they belong is also a way of dealing with my anxiety. The sixth way minimalism has helped with my anxiety is shifting the mindset. The journey of minimalism has helped me both heal and grow in pretty much every aspect of my life. Apart from the obvious, minimalism has also been a motivator for me. A motivator to not care about what other people think, a motivator to take control back over my life and my choices, about being in a certain way, and figuring out what actually matters. This for me is the true healing of anxiety, having space in my mind and having space in the space surrounding me. A space where I search for truth and meaning, not in stuff, but in my experience of life. This is really how this journey has evolved for me. In the beginning, it was much more about not consuming things, as sort of making a statement in my life, of changing my consumerist behaviors and helping the planet. But over time, this has shifted to become something much more. So this healing has become about finding truth. Not finding truth in a concept, an idea, a belief, or stuff, but finding truth in the sense of the true meaning of life. Minimalism has allowed me to remove anything in my life that isn't serving me, and that sort of had a flow-on effect to completely transform any aspect of my life. When I could no longer buy things to make me feel better, I realized that I had to make myself feel better myself. When I stopped buying things to impress other people or to fit in, I simply had to accept that I would never fit in and I would never impress other people. And when I stopped worrying about all the stuff I had, didn't have, or used to have, there was a lot less things to worry about. I think minimalism is something we all need to adopt in one way or another, and I really hope this video could help you on your journey with anxiety. I am planning to make much more videos about anxiety because it's a very important topic to me, so please leave any requests in the comments below because it really inspires me to make videos. I have so many thoughts and ideas and feelings about anxiety and I've experienced so much of it. But sometimes it's difficult to, sort of boil that down into one idea or one video or one concept that I can share and also make comprehensible. So thank you so much for watching again. I will see y'all next week with a new video. Bye.